How's everything? Great to have you in Union City.
Nice place. Good morning, man.
Thank you.
You good? Shall we?
Yes, absolutely.
You going first?
Good morning, everyone. It's great to have everyone here this morning. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. A special round of applause for our Governor, Phil Murphy. Thank you, Governor, for always being here. It's a pleasure to have you in Hudson County today. Our Commissioner, Sean of DEP. Thank you very much, Sean, for being here. I'd like to thank also our neighboring mayor, Mayor Richard Turner, for being here. And a special thank you to my commissioners, Celine, Lucio, Wendy, and Margie, and also our County Commissioner, Fanny Cedeno, for being here. My two great Assembly running mates, Annette and Raj, thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Also, our administrators from the Board of Education, our excellent Superintendent, Sylvia, thank you very much, and to all that are here today, thank you very much. I'll be very brief in my comments. It's always a great day when Hudson County is receiving funding for Green Acres. Nothing could be more important, and I'm preaching to the choir when I say this. Everyone knows how important open space is and what it means to us in Hudson County. So I'm very thankful to the Governor and to the DEP, to the Commissioner for being here today to make these announcements. It's a welcome surprise to have them here with us today. I know the Governor's commitment to open space and the Governor's commitment overall to this state. No one, and I don't say this politically, I say it from my heart, no one has done a better job leading us through COVID and leading this state than Phil Murphy has. And no one can take that away from the man. No one has cared more than the Governor has. And thank you for the commitment the Governor has. I also just wanted to recognize Sam Pessin, who's here from Liberty State Park, and for his commitment to open space. Nothing is more important. Thank you very much. Without further ado, I would just like to announce a great welcome for our Governor, Phil Murphy. Thank you, Governor.
That doesn't get any better than that. I'll have a hard time living up to that introduction, Brian. Thank you. What a treat to be back here in Union City. A particular treat to be here at Ellsworth Park on this beautiful fall day, my Lord. You know that phrase, a day that the Lord made? This certainly is a good example of that. I want to thank my dear friend, first and foremost, and most importantly, Mayor and Senator Brian Stack. Brian, thank you for your great leadership of this extraordinary community and your leadership in Trenton in the Senate. And thank you for hosting us. And by the way, thank you for your advocacy for green spaces, which matters a lot in a community like this and in a county like this. I also want to add my thanks to Raj and Annette. Thank you both for coming out and for everything you do. Extraordinary. This is as dynamic a trio of any legislative district in our state. I want to recognize my colleague, Sean LaTourette, the Commissioner of the Department of Environmental Protection. Sean, you're doing a great job. Martha Sullivan-Sapp here is the Director of the Green Acres Program. Laura, are we going to hear from Laura? I think we are. Laura Scolar-Gamarello is here from the Jersey City Parks Coalition. Celine Valdivia of Union City Parks and Recreation, the Commissioner we'll hear from. And Sam, I echo my welcome to you. Good to see you, my friend. We're so grateful to everyone's leadership and dedication to providing access to parks and recreation that raise the quality of life for countless New Jersey families across the state. As residents of the most densely populated state in the nation, by the way, we're in the most densely populated county in the nation. If there was a time when access to green and recreational spaces was taken for granted in New Jersey, it ended with the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Over the past now 20 months, we learned firsthand just how important these open spaces are, not just for our physical health, but for our mental health and well-being. I also want to give the other commissioners a shout out as well here from Union City. Parks and recreation facilities are the heart and soul of healthy communities and provide essential opportunities to get outdoors, to reconnect to nature, and for kids to play. In that respect, we got a great Union City soccer team with us today. Great to have you with us. Atletico Madrid could have used you yesterday against Liverpool. And they are necessary in every community, not just suburban ones, not just wealthy ones, but every single community. This value is one that our administration views as part of our commitment to environmental justice. And by the way, it is a contributing factor to the fact that New Jersey is the #1 state in America to raise a family. Many folks don't know this. Most folks don't know this, but we are the only state in the continental United States that has more than 20% of our land dedicated to parks and wildlife. How cool is that? So it gets better. Today, I'm incredibly proud to announce a more than $100 million investment in urban parks, playgrounds, athletic fields, open space, amen, and other local park improvement projects in communities up and down the state of New Jersey. And I'm equally proud that the projects being funded have been designed, and Ed Potasnik, I want to make sure you're paying very close attention to this, have been designed to anticipate and address the impacts of climate change, to advance long-term resilience goals, provide equitable and meaningful public access, and maximize social, environmental, and health benefits to the public, particularly those living in overburdened communities. So establishing new parks and expanding existing ones, developing athletic fields and playgrounds, improving access to waterways, creating open space, building flood resilience. These are projects that will improve the quality of life of families living across New Jersey right now. But they are also investments that fulfill our obligation for good stewardship for those who come after us. I want to thank everyone who worked so hard to identify projects worthy of this funding, from those who submitted the proposals to advocates, local officials, and our colleagues, Sean, at the DEP. Your work is now part of New Jersey's greatest legacy, the preservation of our natural resources for the good of the public. Now it is my honor to introduce another terrific mayor. He's come all the way over from Weehawken today, a dear friend. Let's hear it from Mayor Rich Turner.
I don't get such a good introduction often. Obviously, this is a great day. And if you want to see the example of how great Green Acres works, right up the block is the reservoir. It straddles Union City and Weehawken. It was going to be a 70,000 square foot warehouse, 500 parking spaces, overburden the neighborhood, and we received Green Acres funds, Mayor Stack and myself, to preserve it. And it's so important to preserve open space, as we all know. So I want to thank the governor and the commissioner. It's a great day, $100 million. We're going to make sure we get our fair share, and I'm sure we're all going to get it. And we're going to lobby them before we're over. But this is, that's why I'm here. Yeah, well, Mayor Stack dragged me out. Oh, no, we have a tag team. So anyway, and Sam, it's great to see Sam. He's always advocating for Liberty State Park, as we know. So to the Assembly people, to the commissioners, to the governor and the commissioner of DEP, this is a great, great day, and we look forward to all the open space we can get. Thank you very much.
Mayor Rich Turner, again, nobody does it better than Brian Stack and Rich Turner. I can tell you that with a lot of good evidence and experience. Amen. Please now help me welcome the commissioner, the outstanding commissioner and dear friend of the Department of Environmental Protection, Sean LaTourette. Sean?
Sir, thank you. So thank you all for having us here today, and Governor, for that kind introduction, and more importantly for your outstanding environmental leadership. It has meant the world to so many people across this state. And thank you to Mayor Stack for your hospitality in inviting us and opening up your city to us today. You know, I'm honored to be here today because it represents a continuation of our administration's commitment to open space, to natural resource restoration, commitments that, quite honestly, are historic. And I'm not just saying that because you're my boss. Because when we make investments like those that we've announced today, we're not just investing in our environment, a garden, a park, a soccer field, as important as those things are. We're investing in our communities and in our people. You know, sometimes we'll hear that protecting our environment comes at too high a cost, but that is and has always been false, because strong environmental health promotes good individual health and promotes economic health. Conserving open space doesn't just bring us cleaner air and a place to gather and exercise. Investments in parks and open space create new economic development. They spur growth. They attract new business. They spark and they can drive economic development. But most importantly, they give us space, physically, emotionally, a place to connect with nature and with each other. If you'll indulge a quick anecdote, personal anecdote, and I imagine it's one that some here can relate to. You know, growing up, my family didn't have much. There was exactly 2 vacations in my childhood, both by car, and I didn't step foot on a plane until I was an adult. But what we did have was our parks. Like so many New Jerseyans today, our local, our county, our state parks, those are the places that my family went to decompress, to find community, to celebrate big events. And those spaces, like the ones that we'll create with $100 million new dollars today, they're going to be the getaway for so many of our people, for our kids. They represent the good that we can do together and how we take care of each other. And I have to say, I am damn proud to serve a governor who gets it. He sees my family, he sees yours. And he's moved the machinery of government so that it can be there for us, just like he has today by pushing forward these investments. But adding to that, and what folks may not know, but I'm happy to tell you, is that the Murphy administration has overseen more than $400 million in the last few years in investments in open space, parks, the restoration of natural resources like we will do in the center of Liberty State Park, bringing 230 plus acres online for the people, like we're doing in Camden, like we're doing in South Jersey. It's exactly what we need as a state, and I thank you, Governor, truly. But I have to thank our incredible Green Acres staff, starting with Martha Sullivan, the first daughter of the DEP. And we don't call her that for fun. She is actually the daughter of the first commissioner of the DEP. And this year, Green Acres celebrated its 60th anniversary, having made such incredible progress in delivering recreation and conservation opportunities to every New Jersey community. None of that would be possible without our tireless Green Acres champions. And Martha, I thank you and your team. It's a legacy that we can be proud of. And today, what's different that the governor didn't mention is that we distinctly have urban parks as a new program within Green Acres. And the funding that Union City will receive for a new soccer field is specifically for urban parks. Because we have to make sure that our funding reaches everywhere. And most importantly, those communities that for too long have borne a disproportionate burden of the pollution that we all together create. That's the work that we can do together. It's the work that I'm so proud of. And again, Governor, Mayor, I thank you. Martha, we are lucky to have you. Assemblyman, Assemblywoman, thank you for your support. It's a great day for New Jersey. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Sean, you said it as passionately as anyone could, but I mentioned we're the #1 state in America to raise a family, and people are seeing that overwhelmingly in a day like today adds to that legacy. But you also mentioned businesses, which is another, it's counterintuitive, but it's true, right? So if you have a high quality of life, even though the business, Rich, to your example, the business may have wanted that space, whoever was going to operate that warehouse, the fact of the matter is businesses go to places where their employees feel comfortable and that they want to live in and raise their families. And increasingly we're seeing that. Please help me welcome another great leadership in town here, Commissioner Celine Valdivia. Celine.
Good morning, everyone. I am honored, I am privileged, I am humble and proud to be here today with you. Thank you, Governor Murphy, for investing in our community. With this grant, this will enable our honorable mayor and state senator and our board of commissioners to knock down the building on 41st Street, the CDA, and build the soccer field. And I believe there's room for a small passive park there too. There is nothing more important to the Stack administration than good education. Recreation and parks are part of a child's good education. It keeps them safe. It teaches them in recreation. They teach them a sport where they interact with their peers. It teaches them discipline. It also teaches them, lifts up their self-esteem and builds up their character. That once they graduate from high school, whether they go into higher education or go to work or whatever they do after that, they're solid, their character is solid, and they can go on to the world, go out to the world and play the game of life. So again, Governor, thank you very much. And thank you everyone very much. They told me to be short, and I promised that I would be short. I only want to recognize Jose Renteria and our soccer recreation program out there for the job that he does on a daily basis. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor. Well done, man. Thank you very much. Celine, well said. Last but not least, representing the Jersey City Parks Coalition, please help me welcome Laura Scolar-Gamarello. Laura, come on down. Great to have you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It's wonderful to be here on this beautiful day in a beautiful park here in Union City. As president of the Jersey City Parks Coalition, past president of the Jersey City Parks Coalition, we recognize and have recognized for the last 15 years how important our park space is to the community, young and old alike. So today I'd like to thank Governor Murphy for understanding the importance of green acre funding, especially for our urban parks. Hudson County, which many of you know, I'm sure, is the most densely populated county in New Jersey, also contains the most densely populated cities in the nation, which is Gothenburg, Union City, West New York, and Hoboken. So when money is dedicated to our urban parks, especially in these cities, we know that there's a guarantee that it is going to be put to good use. We are grateful for the monies coming into Union City, and I, especially being a long-term resident of Jersey City and Jersey City Parks advocate, especially appreciate the $1.2 million that is being awarded to the long-awaited renovation of Leonard Gordon Park. So, thank you. Throughout the years, Green Acres funding has played an important role in all of our parks. In Jersey City, our neighborhood parks like Leonard Gordon Park, as well as our world-class Liberty State Park, have all benefited. It was way back in 1972 that the Green Acres Bond Act facilitated the purchase of much of that land. And today, I would like to recognize and thank Assemblyman Mukherjee and Senator Stack for being the main sponsors of the Liberty State Park Protection Act in our legislature, which serves to protect our Green Acres public park land. And just on a closing note, in terms of the importance of the Green Acres funding and what it does for us, is in urban areas, what sometimes we lose sight of is that many of our residents here do not have the luxury of a summer home. They might not even have the luxury of a car to go down the shore for a day. Or never mind a week. So when the investment is made in our urban parks, it is really, really important for the residents of these cities, because the public parks are probably, or may only be, the only respite they have from their city living. So for this, we are very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Great job. Thank you, Laura. I think, Brian, that's all she wrote, as they say. I want to thank Mayor Brian Stack for hosting us so graciously. Mayor Rich Turner, thank you for coming all the way over from Weehawken. Great to have you, Sean, Celine, Laura, Martha, Raj, Annette. Father, Board of Education and superintendents and commissioners and advocates, members of the press, soccer players, our future right here. Sam, Gren, thanks to you. A great day for New Jersey, folks. Take care, everybody.